And then you did a Hollywood movie.
And then I got this tiny little cameo in this very goofy, fun Holly Bolly production.
The Guru, right?
Guru.
But you did some of the choreography for it as well.
Yeah, you know, it was very funny. I actually, when I was in New York, I got a call from somebody I had worked with who was actually a South Indian dancer. I had done my thesis on a choreographer based in South India called Chandra Lekha. A very amazing, intense, talented choreographer who used Bharatanatyam, yoga, martial arts, and expressed a very finely tuned political protest, you know, through dance. It was very intense. Anyway, so I was in South India and I met one of her dancers who then had moved to New York, and I got a call from him in 2000, whenever it was, 1999 or something, saying that they're looking for Bollywood dancers. And first I put the phone, I was like, I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not a Bollywood dancer, you know, because I was a bit, you know, naak chadhane wala about that. Because within the dance world, within the modern dance world, one has a sense that one is doing fine work. It's a bit elitist, you know, so I had a bit of that in me. But then I thought, okay, I'll call them back. So I auditioned for this small part of The Indian Prince and I got it. And then when I met the choreographer, her name is Marianne Kellogg, and she's an LA-based sort of modern commercial LA choreographer. And she's very, very sweet, a lovely person, and she had no clue what the Bollywood genre was all about. You know, so she would be watching Shah Rukh Khan videos and she'd say, I love when they do that, ooh. I love when they do that, ooh. You know, and it was not connected at all to her understanding of the words or what it means.
Because a lot of your Bollywood sort of dance steps they're entirely literal, you know.
Very much so. So, you know, Naina, all that Zulfi, all of that stuff. And it was very sweet because she abstracted the movement, which is interesting. She saw it just as pure movement. And then I tried to suggest to her that actually, you know, there's a way in which we're transliterating. We're physically acting out what we're saying, you know?
Like a, sort of miming.
Yeah, like a pantomime
song,
kind of thing, or at least inspired by the meaning of what the lyrics say. So anyway, then there was, so she invited me, and there was this other woman who was sort of an academic at Harvard or something, who was doing something about women and dance and all that. She was a bit dry actually, forgot her name. Anyway, so there was like 2 or 3 of us whom she invited to form a little sort of choreographic task force, if you will. So then what we did is we assisted her, and in the process, because I actually know the Bollywood genre more than I thought I did, I ended up doing a lot of it because the other people were a bit more academic or they were more classical.
So how were Heather Graham and Marissa Tomei and that bunch at the whole sort of, you know, the Eastern moves?
Well, I didn't actually meet Marissa Tomei because the shoots that I was involved in were Jimmy Mistry and Heather Graham. And Heather Graham she's really like a princess. She's so pretty. She's like a pari. She's so pretty and very gracious, very humble. You know, there were all these, there were lots of sort of extra...
But could she do the thamkas and all that is what we want to know.
Well, I'll say that she did a very good job. She's pretty credible, but in terms of the specific changes of weight and the coordination, she wasn't incredible. You know, she wasn't, but she was very, very credible. She was very good.
So not bad.
But she's very sweet, you know. There was so many there were lots of like mostly American-born, you know, Desi dancers or whatever who were part of that because it was a big production number. So often the girls would sort of go up to her and say, "Can we have your autograph?" And she was really
always
sweet,
obliging.
Really obliging, really classy about it. So
that's nice. So tell me something. Have you you've kind of gone reverse because you've done the Hollywood thing. Have you ever thought about doing the local thing or the Bollywood, sort of getting involved with choreography on that level? Well,
you know, it's been interesting. My journey's been sort of quite unusual because I stopped dancing professionally in New York in the year 2000. I graduated college in 96. 97 I joined Susan Marshall and Company, which is a very interesting, very experimental modern dance company, very sort of literary dance in fact. So I did that for about 3 years, and then I got a bit frustrated, and actually we don't get paid well for experimental modern dance. We don't get paid well at all in New York. And for experimental modern dance we actually didn't get paid very well, so I was supplementing my income. I was, you know, working in a health food bar and doing all sorts of other things. Anyway, so for a variety of reasons, plus aesthetically I found that the work was, we would improvise and make material together in a collaborative way, but then it would get fashioned into an evening length work. with the aesthetic sort of vision of the artistic director, Susan Marshall. And there was a way in which I was feeling frustrated because I felt like her cultural lens was very specific, very American, and I felt like it wasn't really, it wasn't, you know, hitting me in a deeper way. So anyway, so for a variety of reasons, I started coming to Pakistan working on other projects, and I have other projects that I'm working on, textile work and design work. So while I was here, people heard that, you know, this fellow is here from New York and he's a dancer and whatnot. So I got offered projects and whatnot, and then somehow, although my work in New York was a little bit obscure, not obscure, but certainly it was part of an art elite.
It wasn't a mainstream sort of thing, yeah, okay.
It wasn't like a commercial and mainstream. And somehow what I've gotten into in Pakistan more and more is sort of more commercial projects. So whether it's Textile Awards or whatever offers to do commercials and videos and things like that.
Tell us a little bit about that, yeah, about the whole Lifestyle Awards thing. You've done a couple of shows with them. Who's been your favorite celeb on the local scene to work with?
Favorite celeb? Well, I'll say this, I found Sana very professional.
Okay.
And I found, okay, so that was, and then the first year I didn't really work with that many celebs the first year of Lux, which is 2002. Then last year I worked with Meera.
How was that?
Which was actually really quite, okay, how can I be diplomatic? It was, working with Meera was enlightening. I'll say that. But you know, actually, there was a way in which there was a bit of a tussle because she joined pretty late, you know, in the rehearsal process, and I had already conceived of an entire section. It was the Runa Lala section.
Right. Okay.
And so 2 days before the performance, she was, you know, very enthusiastic to be the centerpiece of it. And it was a challenge for me because I had already conceived of it in a different way. But I'll say this, that, you know, there's a way in which when she really put her heart into it, I realized what star power is.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
I mean, I saw the show. I was lucky enough to be there, and she was fantastic.
Incredible. And there's a way in which I think our negotiation before the show also gave her that extra fire, because there's a way in which, you know, I said, look, if you're going to work as hard as all these other boys behind you, then I'll put you in all of the sections.
No, because, you know, you don't usually hear of, you hear of Meera for a number of reasons, but her dancing usually isn't one of them, you know. And she was fantastic. I was very impressed.
She was fantastic. Well, I think she's been working on it. She's been going to India and she's been training and she's been doing lots of work on herself, on her instrument.
Yeah.
So kudos to her for that. And beyond that, I think that there was, you know, I think multiple times in rehearsal, she apparently, sometimes in front of me and sometimes not in front of me, she went and started crying because she felt so much passion.
Oh my!
You know, I didn't make her cry.
You made her cry.
It was a passion, it was a jazba. And you know what? I realized, and then she even made these comments, which at first, oh yeah.
All right.
No. So there's also another aspect of my life actually. For the last 5 years, 6 years now, I've been working on some textile design work. Again, very much out of Pakistan and about Pakistan. So I've got now 2 brands. One is called Souf Designs, which I founded in about 2000, 2001. And the second actually debuted last fall at my anchor client in New York, ABC Carpeting Home. It's called Omar, Rahim NYC. So in fact, it would be great, you know, for you guys to check it out. There's 2 websites, Souf Designs, that's SOOF, designs.com, and omarrahimnyc.com. And again, that's very much about Pakistan. It's been my journey sort of reconnecting to a deeper design reservoir or art reservoir in Pakistan, sort of culling, you know, a lot of the traditional designs, traditional work, and then bringing it to market and doing product development, figuring out how it would work for export, etc. So that's been sort of another adventure and journey for me.